following podcast is Wrestling Daft and is scheduled for 1 hour. Maybe more. It has no real time limits, making their way into your ears. First, from a place called Barneston, he is the Pyramid.
It's going to be the funniest show ever because I'm all about the comedy and the money, baby.
How much you gonna pay?
And his partner, the top end of Stevenson.
From Mexico City to Beef Community Centre, I've got stories that are going to blow your mind.
Hello and welcome to the podcast known as Wrestling Daft, known far as wide, notorious podcast, the notorious Wrestling Daft. I'm Rab Florence, and here is my man,
Right, mate.
Grado. That's Grado there, just quietly saying, "You all right, Grado? Is there something up with you?"
Bit crab, I can't get really into it. Just some kind of issues here and there. I'm going to have to let you know that I'm to say the wee bit crabby dabby. I've been up for 4 o'clock this morning with the radio, and then I've been driving buses all day.
What is this, a radio hang as well? The driving the buses?
No. It's not a radio thing. It's a promotional thing for First Bus. Well, it is sort of to do with the radio, but I was learning to be a bus driver all day.
Let's cheer Grado up. I know how to cheer Grado up.
No, I'm fine. Everything's fine, mate. I'm brand new. It's just
I'm fine.
Listen, I drove a single-decker bus for about 3 hours a day, and I think what's really hurt my ego the most is that all the bus drivers in the canteen just took one look at me and just thought, "They're another bus driver." You know what I mean? I've got the right figure for it. I'm just shaped like a bus driver to the point where nobody flinched all that. That must be a new start, man. And the woman who was learning me says, see at the end of the day when I passed the test, King, she went, as soon as you walked through the door, I thought, you're a bus driver. A woman that had been doing it for like 50 years, man. Pure passionate about buses. Like, see the way we would go on about wrestling, like pure going on about the best routes and the best buses and all the good old days and all that. And I used to go to Castle Mountain, this guy used to give me my quota and all this, and I get, the presents at Christmas, all the presents I used to get, and it's all changed days now. You got a lot of folk coming in, their souls are timid and all this, and
Well, let me tell you something.
a lot harder than the locks.
It also means that you might, what it might mean is that you could actually be a good assassin as well, because that's what assassins are good at, innit? It's like putting the gear on and walking in, and they just blend in. So, like, if you were a hitman that was going to assassinate a bus driver, you would have totally nailed it today. So it doesn't mean you look like a bus driver. I would say it means you look like an assassin, mate.
Rab, I looked like a bus driver because I had on the First Bus shirt, tie, double XL shirt, fucking the waistcoat, the full bifter, mate, the full bifter. My hair was wet, so it was kind of, I slicked it to the side and it looked like I was wearing like that wet look 99p gel. Do you know what I mean? So pure, that kind of spiced up the look as well. So
you're trying to like fit in, it was like that kind of secret millionaire kind of
thing.
You were trying to... Right, let's cheer you up here, right?
I'm fine, mate. I'm fine.
5 years ago, it was a very, very special. This is the way you cheer Grado up, right? You talk about his achievements. 5 years ago, Scottish Exhibition Conference Centre, Grado versus Drew McIntyre, for the ICW belt, the big one. Grado, wee boot into the steel chair. The big man goes down. Grado rolls over him for a pin. 1, 2, 3. The roof comes off. Grado, how do you reflect on that day now, 5 years down the line?
Well, the amount of folk on Twitter that saying that's when British wrestling peaked. Said that was the you know, for the years that it was building, we have this match, we sell it out, not a Yank involved, apart from Foley and Rhyno, he's Canadian. And we sell it out, and I win the belt, and just everything goes downhill. And then everybody just goes on to make careers in WWE UK.
I love the fact you said, and we did it without having any Yanks. apart from the legendary American professional wrestler Mick Foley, one of the biggest names in the history of the business.
He wasn't wrestling on the show, and we had Rhyno, and he was Canadian. You know what I mean? I tell you a bit when how Rhyno tried to get in the country that day. I told you that one, didn't I?
No.
I don't know, no. I don't think so.
He was getting mega. He was struggling to get by. What do you call it? Border, because he never had a. What do you call it? Never had
Passport?
No, not a passport. The work permit. The work permit. Never had a work permit.
Visa.
And he was going. You know, I'm to do with wrestling, but I'm here. I'm not actually wrestling. I work. Do you know a guy called? A wrestler called Grado? And they were all going. Aye, you can Grado. Aye. He was going, well, I'm here to see if I'm going to try and get him to the WWE. I'm here on WWE's behalf. We're having a little look at him. And I'm like, on you come through. Tell him good luck. On you go. That's great. Hear that?
Oh my God, that's brilliant.
He's like, as soon as he, hey, Grado, you got me through customs, man. Fuck. You're fucking over. You're over.
That was a nice wee tweet that Drew sent out, though, Grado.
Did he say again?
It says, a truly historical and special night. Not the atmosphere, not the sold-out SECC, not real Mick Foley being involved, not the finish, but Grado keeping up with me for over 20 minutes. Open brackets, almost.
So, lovely tweet. But, I mean, that's no... Because I've got to put my cards on the table here. Saturday night, had a couple of lucky... What do you call them? Purple, what do you call them ones? Purple fucking... I was steaming, I was mad with it, right?
Right, aye.
I'm not going to say purple eckies, by the way. Purple, what do you call them? Purple things? A pan of violet gin. And I was sitting getting wrecked. And I text Drew and I says, look, Biggin, how's it going? I'm half cut here. Listen, that's the 5-year anniversary of the Going to write something nice to me on Twitter. And he wrote, aye.
Did you do that?
I was going to write something nice about it. And he went, first I was kind of pissed off because he went, well, what I'll do is you write something and I'll reply to it. I was like, all right, fuck's sake. Right, okay. So, done that, and I'm thinking, oh, he's going to give it. This man deserves this. This man is the reason behind this. This man is the greatest and all that. And what a match I've had, and he took me to the limits. He's basically just said, fucking well done, you never blew up, you fucking fat ride. You know what I mean? Thank you, Drew. He was like, how's that? I'm like, that'll do.
Well, he's a champ again. He's a champ. Listen, a lot of chat here. Let's move on and see what the punters are saying. Right? Let's see what the punters are saying. Stephen Cliff's been in touch after our comments about Roz West. That's what I call her, Roz. I call her Roz. A close relationship with her. Rose West last week after Grado admitted he likes doing a Google search for her now and again. Checking to see if she's on Tinder yet. After our comments, he is pushing for a Rose West 2020 t-shirt. Happy to be proven wrong. We're not doing a fucking Rose West t-shirt.
I'd rather see a Louise West 2020 t-shirt.
Look at that. That's fantastic. Louise West is one of our listeners. Shout out to one of your listeners.
And it's not just Rose West that I Google. I Google
every woman. Every woman.
Wait, hey, then tonight, Grado. Sitting Googling woman, man. Googling woman tonight, man.
Just hunters in them, man. There's just new ones getting born all the time. It's just hard to keep up. After last week's chat about Undertaker appearing Gimme 5 with Jenny Powell and getting angry about Ant and Deck, we've been inundated with wrestlers' appearances on 90s telly shows. Bronze Cello sent us a clip of Mr. Blobby wrestling. Bomber Pat Roach also sent a clip of Macho Man taking on a kid at Rage in the Cage in the Sega Mega CD on Games Master.
If you want to see any of these, just let me know.
I watched the Blobby one. The Blobby one was good. I'm surprised that no British carny wrestling promoter in the mid-90s never got a Blobby costume. And
I know.
And put Blobby in the bill. That's weird, that one, isn't it?
I wonder how the right situation is. Like, do you think if you brought Mr. Blobby into the British wrestling scene now, that he would actually be quite over? He would actually, like, people would... let's say you had Mr. Blobby versus... I'm trying to think who you could have him up against.
But here's a big question, Rob. What's Mr. Blobby's NXT name? Because BBC own the rights to Mr. Blobby. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you know
Joe Bleb, I would call him. Joe Bleb.
Aye.
And
Bob Jones. No,
he couldn't go blobby like he used to do. He'd have to go bleb.
Blebly Divine.
Big Joe Bleb.
The pink bubble. Nah, this is shit.
So you get Big Joe Bleb versus Walter. Would be a good match. Kind of fucking look the same, didn't they, the two of them? No, Ian Drew Dice Clay got in touch. Ian Drew Dice Clay, one of our favourite contributors.
I'm fed up putting this guy over. I love him, man. He's the best, but we put him over every week.
Sent to Scott Hall, pissed up on Live and
Kid one
Kicking,
off.
wrestling Emma Forbes, and also wrestling Mr. Blobby. Mr. Blobby again there. Chris had sent us one of the greatest hours of British TV you'll ever see. An hour. Randy Savage on QVC. 8 minutes and he tells the presenter, you can call me Randy. Then realises that has a different meaning in the UK. This is all good stuff. It's all visual stuff that you can't fucking look at. So, Thomas Simpson saw Vader in Boy Meets World. Westies get Kevin Nash appearing in Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Wow. Kevin Nash, of course, is a very good actor. Actually, he's got a lot of acting work. Gets a lot of acting work. It's been a lot of good stuff. Ian Porter says, my mates think I'm at it, but I'm sure on Jim will fix it a wee guy wrote into meet or square goal. Roddy Piper run about 92. Sure they had a fight and the wee guy done a small package or some shit to win. No, we've researched this and it's true. We've even got a picture of the wee guy with Roddy Piper and Jimmy Savile. And if you want to see that picture, yeah, a wee boy with a dead guy and a paedophile, you can get it on our Patreon page. If you want to take a wee look at that. No, every week we do the pun in. We get some nice puns in here for Grado. This will cheer you up, Grado. Now, last week we suggested that it's sex-related wrestler names that we wanted. Sex-related wrestling names. So here we go.
Just before we start, I've chinned John for tagging me in the tweet about it this week. So I'm a bit pissed off because I've seen some already, so you're not getting any natural reactions here.
Right, well, I've not seen any. So.
Right, well, you'll love these to the point where I've just went, I'm not thinking it anymore because these are all gals.
Right, so, okay, here we go. Hunk Hoggins got in touch with Hacksaw Jim Chuggin. Glasgow Bob gives the cock and sock connection. Man, that's good, isn't it? It's good for us. It's got levels to it, that one. Rod Jane and Five Nights at Freddy's suggested Pokazuna. Stephen says the gobbledygooker, or Chris has Giza gobbledygooker.
That is tremendous, man.
Another Stephen got in touch with Big Papa Pump and Squirt. Oh, fuck's sake, man. Or Jodie Fleischlight.
Love
that. Willie says Booker Teabag. Henderson Experience said Scotty 2 girls 1 cup. Scotty 2 girls 1 cup hottie and hardcore pornography Holly.
Ridiculous.
Ian says the Texas Tornado Kerry Von erection. Christopher has stepbrother love. Bobby says the finger pokey bum wank of doom. Reference there to the finger poke of doom. Andy says Stoner Steve Austin and Zach Ryder. Jason, wait, Gonorrhea Ripley. And Shorty G-Spot. Jamie with Bingo Bondage. Depenetration X. And Nation of Ejaculation. John with AJ Doggy Styles. Chris with Power and Morning Glory. Kyle with One Man Gangbang. And Wilson Valley with Hacksaw Jim Dogging. And two-time Listener of the Week trying to retain the Listener of the Week title here.
That's Geordie.
It's Geordie.
Yep.
Two-time Listener of the Week trying to retain his title here with Pokey Bum Bigelow. The Squirt Business. The Nation of Fornication with leader Ron Rimmings.
That's a belter.
And Clit Hennig. He also says the best one should be given their very own Slippy Slammer Award. Beautiful.
That's
beautiful.
Hilarious.
If you want to get in touch with us about any of that,
There was one he didn't include, right? But I seen it on Twitter and I thought it was my favourite, right? Also, this one, Scat Weasel. See when I see they were great, right? But see when I see fucking Shane, I see Adam Shane, man, he's so funny, man. I remember one time, so I used to go to a lassie called Kerry, and everybody would fucking. She was always getting on to me and stuff like that, right? Anyway, long story, but fucking, she was always kind of, she's coming to wrestling shows and she'd be crabbing and that. And I remember fucking Adam going like that. How's Kerry Von Erich? I fucking pissed myself, man. Which makes me think then Kerry Von Erich, for next week we should maybe do
Medical ones.
medical ones. Have we done medical ones?
No, we've not done medical
Right,
ones. Let's
there you
try
go.
medical ones.
So
Very
there we
good.
go for that, man.
Kerry Von Erich, lovely.
Brilliant. Love it.
And if you want to get in touch with us about any of that or just random wrestling related stuff, get us on Twitter at Wrestling Daft, on Insta at Wrestling Daft Podcast, just Wrestling Daft on Facebook, or email us at wrestlingdaft@gmail.com. Now, every week we like to separate the good for the bad in wrestling. The yes, sir, I can boogies for the three lions. Yes, man, John, finally. Finally, a good gin, John. You did it. So, what you want to put over this week, Grado?
I seen your Mortician documentary. I seen that fucking documentary. Hang on, fucking wrestles on here. Documentary. I saw that yesterday morning. Loved that. It's annoying, man, because I had an old email, Yahoo email for years ago. Remember when I used to email all the wrestlers, and I had a fucking email for Percy Pringle, man, 2002 or 3. Percy emailed me asking me to do an interview, and he's telling me no, but he done it dead nice and professional. Do you know what I mean? Hi there, thank you for your getting in touch. It's an honour that you want to.
Mate, did you not tell us all this last week?
He did.
All of this.
Hey, mate, sorry, man, that's bad. Sorry.
Well, I want
Fucking repeat okay, you know what I mean?
okay, beautiful. I want to put our. What do I want to put over this week? I want to put our Drew winning the title again, because I think we're wanting to see Drew versus Roman Reigns, right? We want to see that. It's going to be an interesting dynamic here to see what's going on with A2 boys, A2 big boys in there, and get A2 big boys.
There'll be
in the ring.
interference to protect them both.
Aye.
There'll be Sheamus or I'll be the Fiend. One of them will interfere.
Hopefully not the Fiend.
What do you mean?
Well, because it's too soon for the two guys to be meeting. So I think what we're going to get at Survivor Series is the two of them meeting and then just some business getting left for later down the line. So somebody's going to get involved. There's going to be some kind of run in. There's going to be something going on. I wouldn't rule out Roman Reigns letting, making that into an Uso situation instead. Roman Reigns, head of the table, can just sit back and just fucking let his underlings do his work. That's what I would like to see.
Is he tag teaming with his cousins again then, aye?
Well, aye. You've been following the whole story with Jay and Roman and all that, haven't you?
Aye, but I don't know. I didn't know.
Jay's kind of doing Roman's dirty work now.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. Aye.
So I think we could see a wee bit of that. I think Roman Reigns.
The Usos 2-on-1 on fucking Drew Armageddon or something like that.
I think you're wanting Drew chasing Roman for a bit here. Anyway, let's see what punters are saying. Paul wants to put all Drew versus Jey Uso on SmackDown. Great match. Almost 3 million views on WWE's YouTube channel. And Talking Shopomania 2 as well.
Oh, I forgot that was it.
I've not seen it.
You still not seen the first one, ain't you?
No.
Brilliant.
I don't like funny things. And he wants to bury Elias for still thinking Jeff ran him over with the car. Can somebody please smart them up? Daniel, get in touch. Hope I'm saying your name right there, Daniel.
It's Daniel.
Hope I'm saying your name there, Daniel. I know it's spelled funny on these notes here. Daniel wants to put over the Brothers of Destruction special on the network. Talk about long-term storytelling. It went for years. It had so many layers. And wants to bury Drew no winning his title in front of people again. He deserves the belt and all the attention, but I feel for the guy. He's missed out on that thrill to the pop. He's missed out on it twice now. John is also putting over Drew winning the WWE title back in Raw and the Brothers of Destruction documentary on the network, and wants to bury the fact that Zelina Vega has been fired for WWE. Stephen also wants to bury the Zelina Vega release. Sorry to get political again, lads, says, but it's got to be brought up. WWE have done plenty of shitey things in its time. This is up there with the shittiest. It's not just the reasons why she's been released. She was a great talent. Willie wants to bury Nia Jax. Mostly for the anti-vaccination stuff she posted online. Is that true? Did she post anti-vaccination stuff?
She said she wouldn't take one, she wouldn't trust it, and she would leave it to God.
But see, here's the deal, right, man? This is what winds me up sometimes about wrestling fans and all. I do think fucking MDIC that's giving it the I'm not taking the vaccine. I don't agree with it. I do not agree with it. I think it's daft. I think it's stupid. But why is she getting shit for that? Why is it nobody can have their own views? Why is it they've got to be... Do you get what I mean by that? Why is she going to be slated because she has that opinion?
No, I think that's fair enough. I mean, it's just this guy's opinion to bury her, though. You know what I mean? It's like, it's no like she's no losing her job about it, or she can do what she wants.
No, but you know she's going to get rattled online and all that. You're anti-vaxxer and you're this and you're everything, and it's just folk can't get peace. It's just fucking, who cares, man? Stop going fucking let them say what they want.
Whereas my feeling is, get that fucking vaccine slapped into my arm immediately, man. Just fucking give me it. Geese it. I fucking geese it the new.
Jag it up my ear myself, man. I tell you.
Fucking jag it up, man. Fucking one arm, two arms, man. Into my groin. Fucking jag it up into my fucking groin, man.
If they ask me and you, right, Rab Grado, you're going to help us out here, man. Want to go in all these houses, man, and give folk the vaccine, and we'll get everything started back up to normal. Going to use a horn with date.
You'd go around people's houses and vaccinate them.
How you doing, man? Here's your jag.
Margaret, there's that boy from Burneston at the door wanting to use a jag.
Aye. Margaret, you're that Grado with a big syringe at the door.
Oh, just do what they done in Primary 1. Remember, you get a jag in Primary 1, the doctor went, look at the teddy bear. You tell him, look at Teddy and the Jaggy.
Boof, got you.
Look at the Grado doll, which should be on sale on my website by now, by the way.
No, you'd be like that. Look at this match with me and Abyss on my phone.
You look at this email for Percy Pringle in 2003.
Jason wants to put her big Drew winning back the belt and gain it the yes sir I can boogie. Do you see he shouted that, Grado, at the moment?
Saw that, aye.
In the match. What a guy, yeah. What a boy, man. I'm impressed you went more than 20 minutes with him, mate, almost. And he wants to bury the constant last-minute title changes before Survivor Series. Why give the belt to Orton and they'd put it back in Drew a few weeks later? Makes no sense other than to give Orton another blah, blah, blah. Fucking moan. Listen, see the Attitude Era. See the Attitude Era, which we fucking love. We love the fucking Attitude Era. That belt, the belts were fucking changing horns every fucking 2 minutes. 2 minutes, the belts are changing horns. So shut up. It's got nothing to do with the belts changing horns. We're like to see Drew and Roman fucking squaring off. We've seen Randy Orton and Roman squaring off. Why is he Drew and fucking Randy Orton squaring off now? Woo! You can get more Wrestling Daft content at patreon.com/Wrestling Daft, and Grado's going to tell you all about the tiers.
Tears. Hey, I think we've had enough.
Two tiers in a bucket.
Hey, I think we've had enough tier talk this week. Right, what's me? Can I get rid of it? Tier 1. Let me tell you about the Wrestling Daft Patreon. Patreon.com/Wrestling Daft. I'll get 3 tiers, unlike the Scotland. Well, the government, what they got 4? I don't know.
4.
0 counts, man.
5, no 5, got 5.
So this is a tier that you are going to enjoy for a change. Tier 1 is the Cruiserweight Champion, which is $4 a month. On that, you get a patron-only chat community, ad-free versions of all episodes, early access, random bonus content, the video version of the Marks podcast. You also get to vote on what you want to see featured in the List of Wrestling Daft and for the Marks Fantasy Booking Island. Tier 2, Intercontinental Champion, which is $10 a month. You get everything in Tier 1 as well as a video version of the podcast each week. You get a bonus episode every month. It's meant to be once a month. Up there now you can get the Rob and Wrestling story with Rab Florence, and you also get the first 2 parts of my story, It's Yourself, and we need to upload basically the RF shoot.
It's up.
I done an RF shoot interview with Rab. It's pretty tasty, pretty interesting. He talks about wrestling and everything else. Plus this week, you're going to get to hear for the Marks. The Marks basically have a new monthly show. It's called The Dafties, and they argue over the best and worst wrestler. So I can imagine it's highly entertaining. They talk about the best match and moment of the month, and you can also join our Patreon pay-per-view parties.
Tier 3 Survivor Series.
So I remember Survivor Series is this Sunday, so you can all sit together and talk about stuff. And I get just kind of connect with one another when you're watching all wrestling. Tier 3, World Heavyweight Champion, $20 a month. You get everything in the previous tiers, as well as a free Wrestling Daft shirt design of your choice, but you must be signed up for a minimum of 3 months. Plus, you get to feature on one of our shows as one of our Marks or do a run-in on this show. So if you fancy that and becoming one of our patrons, sign up now at patreon.com/Wrestling Daft. We'd love to welcome you to the roster.
It's a part of the show. It's a part of the show now. Maybe me and Grado's favourite part of the show.
Well,
Where we invite you, the listener, to their run-in. Come on, ask whatever you want. Might want to talk about the 5-year anniversary of Grado winning the belt against Drew. Did you hear about that? Or maybe even find out what our favourite cereal is. That's all I've got to offer is like, Grado's an amazing historic thing he did 5 years ago, and maybe you'll find out what cereal Rab eats, for fuck's sake. This week, let's welcome to the show Dougbag. Where's Dougbag? Where is he?
Hello.
There he is. How you doing, my brother? How you doing? Welcome to the show.
Not too bad. Thank you for having me, guys. Thank you.
It's a pleasure, mate. Let me ask you this question. The big question on everybody's lips today as we record this tonight is your PlayStation 5 coming tomorrow?
Sadly not.
Dear.
I'm still with the PS4. I'm still.
What about you, Grado? Is your
PS4.
PlayStation 5 coming tomorrow?
no, I'm not getting one.
Oh man.
What about you,
Hard
Johnny
times,
boy?
innit?
What about you, Johnny boy?
Do you know what? I'm not getting one, and the Wayne hasn't even asked for one for his Christmas. So I'm out of the jail, I think.
Looks like it's only me then. Looks like it's only me getting a PlayStation 5.
Are you actually?
I get one.
What games do you get for it, Rab?
Got Demon Souls coming. I've got NBA 2K21. It's a draft tonight in the NBA. Do you like a basketball, Dougie?
No, not too much basketball. I'm a pure wrestling guy. I only like simulated sports, non-determined, already predetermined sports.
So what wrestling do you like, mate? Tell us what wrestling you like.
I think you like MJF because you've got that scarf. Do you like that? Is that what you're doing? That?
Well, see, this is the thing. I was kind of homaging your heel turn, Grado, because I'm a big fan of your heel turn and when you were a heel as a wrestler. And so I thought I'd come on and be a bit of a heel myself and wear the Burberry.
What was the best bit about the heel turn?
Well, the best bit about your heel turn, I just think you just took an unexpected route with it, and instead of kind of going like the monotone, like not monotone, but the delivery, I thought of instead of going big with your voice, you actually were very smooth, and I think that was really unexpected, and I really appreciated that, man.
Did you see
at all? Big clicks on YouTube.
Did you see my promo in Cardiff?
I think so. That's the one with the glasses in it when you walk around.
Yeah.
In Cardiff, innit?
See the Southampton one?
Yeah, I've seen that, mate. I'm a big fan.
Tidy, man. I like this.
I'm going to say yes.
Right, have you got your Christmas decorations up?
My girlfriend's big into Christmas. I'm a bit of a Grinch myself, but my girlfriend's has been putting the Christmas decorations up in November.
Fair play for having the Christmas deck. You've not got a tree up yet?
No, the tree yet. I've been fighting against it.
No,
I
don't
have a
fight
tree.
it. Get the fucking tree up.
I think we should have a tree on a pole match, and if I win, the tree doesn't happen. If she wins, we keep the tree. I'd say that.
You actually would. You saying you would fight your girlfriend?
Listen, you have to. It could happen.
Now be careful, mate, because
I watch what you say, mate.
just watch what you're saying, because you could have a son at your door.
Aye.
Doorstep you.
But
Then
Rab,
I'd say it's predetermined. I'd say the predetermined thing. Hopefully, get me out.
Rab, I'm with you with the Christmas decorations. Usually, I'd get in about that. She's got her tree up with Dafty. But this year, I think there's a bit of sorry, man, it's 2020. Do what you want.
Get them up. Get them up and keep them up until the vaccine arrives. That's my thing.
Aye. Keep singing till it comes.
Who's your favourite? What did you like? Did you like the dinner debonair? The Jericho.
The dinner debonair. I was a big fan of the dinner debonair.
I had a feeling you would be a big fan of the dinner debonair. I had a feeling you just look as if you're a bit maybe a more cultured man that appreciates something different in the wrestling scene. You're a fan of AEW then?
See, this is the thing. You remember Darren from a few weeks ago? Who's speed dater?
Yep, aye.
The speed dater himself. He's all about with the ladies. I'm on the podcast with Darren. We're on the same podcast, so we keep watching AEW together. Yeah,
nice.
Yeah,
nice.
I'm the friend who showed him the Grado match, so I'm coming in here to get my heat back.
Do you think the roster's too big?
Yes, I think for now, yes, slightly too big. But it's good to have. To me, they've become PWG in a way. They've got a developmental, and with Dark, they've got people they're practicing with, and then they've got people in main roster. So they seem to be expanding naturally.
What's Colt Cabana doing on AEW?
But it's big.
What's Colt Cabana doing?
He's a bad guy. Do you know my father? No, he said that.
No, as good as you. So
I was speaking to my father on the phone, right? And I was going, "Down, I need to run, man. I'm going to do my podcast." And he went, I see that. Colt Cabana started his own podcast. Aye, I mean, he only was the fucking first wrestler to do it, but just the way he went, as if to say, you got to do with that. He's fucking taking your podcast.
He's copying you.
Question here, I don't want to interrupt your running here, Doug, but how was your dad become aware of the Colt Cabana podcast?
My dad's weird. He's, as I say, he logs into my mom's, who's passed away, Facebook, and basically goes on there and looks up all wrestling websites through my mom's Facebook and comments on stuff. And so he surprises me, the things that he'll say. He just wee random things that he saw in the wrestling he'll bring up. Oh, see fucking this. I see Drew's won the title. Can he just be daft things like that?
But does he comment using your?
He'll be making the money. He'll be making the big money.
Does he comment using your mum's avatar?
Aye. Mm-hmm.
That's.
Should I told you about? Did I not tell you what he done with Salkit's Vicks, the football team?
No.
Salkit's Vicks. Oh, you might have been off, John, but on Salkit's Vicks, it's a junior team. You know how all the junior teams are pulling out their leagues, right? Because they're having to change the side of the park and they're having to social distance and all this.
Yep.
And so Salkit's Vicks put up a statement saying Scotland, Salkit's Vicks will not be taking part in this year's league. And my dad wrote under my fucking Moz Facebook status, "I will not be fucking missed. You've got the worst supporting junior football." My Moz account, man. And he done it with the Buffs and on. He says, "I've left a comment on the Buffs page, man," and he did right, but he fucking taken a picture and all. So he posted a comment slagging the Buffs because they were moving parts. This is a disgrace, blah, blah, blah. And posted a selfie, like, looking down at his phone. So his big double chin, he had his tap off and all that. So there was just a comment saying, fucking, this is a disgrace and all that. He's just pure growling into a camera. Uploaded a selfie for no reason on the comment. So one guy replied underneath it, "Oh dear."
I can't wait to be a dad, man. Well, I'm a dad, but you know what I mean. An older dad. Right, what questions have you got for us, man? What questions are you bringing?
Right, for I got two separate ones, if that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, mate. Of course.
Grado, because of such a heel work, I was going to ask, what's your favourite thing to do as a heel to work up the crowd, or some of the fun things that you've done as a heel that you enjoy doing? Whether that's in life or wrestling, if you either or.
Walk back through the rope. Walk back through the curtains because I'm fucked. Because there's a lot, and when you're a face, you can just sell your ass off and get your win back. But as a heel, you're on tap. But I'd probably say, what's the best thing about being a heel? I suppose playing to the crowd, that was different, and that turning around and kind of getting into shit with the crowd, that was different. That was probably my best bit, and also having to dance to the ring, that was a wee change as well. That felt cool. I felt like I was 12-year-old again, practicing entrances in my bedroom.
Did you get the sense, Grado, that when you were heel, did you get the sense that the crowd hated you? Were you getting the hate? Were you getting the hate that you wanted?
You know what? Maybe I just a kind of, hey, a fucking bad guy. Mate, as soon as I started talking about TNA, it was easy, man. They fucking hated that, the TNA talk. I see the fans, they hated that. Star of TNA, boo, shout out to Dixie Carter, all that shit. They fucking hated me for that. I loved that, man. Doing the stroke and stuff like that. I fucking loved all that. That was brilliant. I'd do that in more again, man, I'm telling you.
It's when we're going to ask it again because we've asked this at the start of lockdown. We talked about all this kind of stuff, but since Doug brought it up, and it was a good thing to bring up your heel stuff because I always find it quite fascinating. When wrestling resumes, when everybody's get the vaccine pumped into their arm, when everybody's carrying about the vaccine inside their wee bum bags, let me put this to you. Are you coming back as a face or come back as a heel?
What?
You come back as a face?
What kind of question is that?
Wait, what? It's a legitimate question. Are you going to rebrand or listen? You're the one that said that you were going to. I might come back. I might be a heel when I come back.
Mate, see, to be honest with you,
you said it, mate.
No, I know, but see, to be honest with you, I'm not thinking about any of that. I just want to get back in the ring and wrestle again. I've not actually thought about it. That's too long away, man. That would take too much thinking about it, to be honest with you.
No, but a good angle for a wrestler when
I've been too crab at the night. Doug Jen come crab at the night.
No, but this is reality, mate. We're not like we're not like other podcasts. This is reality, mate. If you're feeling this way, this is a good way to do it. I get a good angle for a wrestler when all the wrestling gets when the pandemic ends and wrestling shows start up and all the wrestlers come back and all that, right? And it's going to be all that thing, and it's great to be back and all that kind of stuff. Aye. I'm so glad to be back. It'd be brilliant for one wrestler to be kind of like, I'm not fucking coming back, man.
I just like, I'd rather be in fucking follow.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I'm going to win this match and fucking quarantine for a full year. This title will not be defended.
Brilliant. I mean, there you go. There it is.
Aye. Refuse to get the vaccine. Refuse to get the vaccine and no.
Refuse to get the vaccine and constantly say you've got it. I've got it. I've got it again. I've got it again. All that stuff.
Aye.
And if they say, well, we're going to take the belt off you if you don't turn up on Hang Me, you turn up on the fucking Sunday night, but then you start coughing during the match and all that. It's fucking dynamite.
No, that like the fucking, what do you call that? What do you call it? The fucking, the go home show before the fucking big one there. You're like, phoning in on the Titantron like that. I've been expunged, so I'm going to have to quarantine. So I'm going to have to put off this title match at the weekend, alright? Be funny, man. That's good.
Fucking brilliant. Be brilliant, man.
To
such an extent, you could do a whole angle that the fucking face comes and hunts you down, Stone Cold style, to fucking jag you with the fucking vaccine. To jag you with it. Get you down in your own house. Vaccine into your fucking arm. And the hiding place.
And then it's like, maybe take this too far, but you can't get in folks' houses and all that. But guys like that ends up right out the back door, and we're literally roll about the back, on the garden in the back. Oh, that's a lot of shit.
Don't try and take it back to your backyard in days. This you try to take it back to your comfort zone. Right, your next question, Doug's. Your next question, sorry.
Well, for you, Rab, well played yesterday, not yesterday, last week for your booking on the Orton thing. I thought it was really, really fucking good. So I wanted to ask you, it was really cool, really, really cool. I was going to ask you, if you could book one match, one dream match right now, what would you book as a booker? It could be any time, any period, but the dream match with the dream... Because I saw Kelvin Brawl, by the way, and I thought it was a very good show. So if you could do Kelvin Brawl 3, what would be the main event? If you could have anybody, anytime.
His booking in the first show was superb as well, by the way.
The main event, a Kelvin Brawl 3, would be if you could book anything.
Anything.
You have to start getting these questions in advance for your Rab.
Oh, I know, because these are really difficult.
Get an essay on it.
These are really difficult ones.
It can be yours. It can just be yours. It can just be yours. It doesn't have to be like the best. Just what you'd like to see.
Because then I know you mean, Rab. Then you go to your bed that night and you fucking wake up at 4 bells and think, shit, I should have booked fucking Adam Shane versus Eric Canyon.
Like, genuinely, there wouldn't be like, I'm speaking genuinely here, right? I'm honestly speaking genuinely here, and I'm all just saying this because of present company, right? But Grado's always been a feature in the Kelvin Brawl things, right? And I'm always saying that Grado, the British wrestling scene, Grado's just integral to that old Spartan and kicking off. I would love to see fucking Drew and Grado again. I would watch Drew and Grado again, because I think there'd be an amazing story to tell about Drew leaving the WWE, coming back up in ICW like that, getting beat by Grado, Drew going back to WWE, winning the world title, being in the top of the fucking world, and then coming back and wrestling Grado again in this kind of exhibition match. And even Grado being just kind of like, I was kind of put out by him putting out that tweet saying, he managed to go with me for 20 minutes.
Brilliant.
And stuff like that. Like a Rocky story. Not necessarily that Grado wants to beat him. Grado being like, I'm not going to beat him, but I want to fucking put up an amazing performance that people are like, you know what I mean? I would love to see that. You know what I mean? That kind of story.
I love
that kind of story.
I'd be there. That's
cool. That would
Grado, there.
That would make me. I would.
You'd do that, wouldn't you, Grado?
I'd hit the. What do you call that? A capillator. What do you call that fucking thing?
Claymore.
What?
The Claymore.
Oh, no, I moved. The fucking running machine with the bike with the steps.
The Peloton. The
elliptical. What's it called? Elliptical trainer.
Elliptical trainer.
That would get me out of my bed to the elliptical trainer, because that's what I was using before I wrestled Drew. I was right on the elliptical trainer.
And did that work well for you?
Did actually, mate? Aye, because what I done was...
You were slim in that match. You'd lost a ton of weight.
Because I was still in the fire brigade then, so I was 4 days a week. I was gone for like a full hour. Well, say full hour, 20 minutes on that elliptical trainer, going bush, man. I loved it, and I had that match in my head like soon. When I was blowing up, man. It kept me going. things kept me going for that match. It was brilliant. I'd love something like that again. Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Doug, thanks so much for jumping on. Remind us all again how we can catch your podcast.
So tmp.podcast on Instagram, tmp_podcast on Twitter. You can find me Dougbag with 2 G's on Twitter. And it's just good bants with AEW, making jokes. Yeah, we've got a few segments.
Good luck with that, Doug. And sorry if I'm a bit crab at the night.
Mate, no, thank you for having me, man. And it's lovely to chat with you, honestly.
Pleasure, pleasure having you on, mate.
54 episodes, been enjoying it. So thank you so much for doing it.
Cheers, man. Get that tree up.
I will do that. I will stay positive and get the tree up.
And have a nice Christmas, mate. Right, lovely.
Thank you. Same to you.
See you later, man. Bye now. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Yeah, bro.
Woo! Boys, I've got some bad news. Manscaped are sponsoring the show this week, but unfortunately, they've got the addresses mixed up. And Rab, you were meant to get the Lawnmower 3.0 coming your way, but they've sent it to Shellsuit Bob from River City by mistake.
How would you get us mixed up? Me and by the way, Stephen Purdy doesn't even have any pubes, so what's the point in sending him? Why would they be sending him that?
I don't know.
I would hope Manscaped would send out another one to me because I want to feel that smoothness on my ball sack as well. But I'll let Grado, you've tried it. What is it like?
Well, it's superb, and I want to just back my fellow Panto partner here. I've definitely seen his buzz. I've seen his buzz. I've seen his back. He is a hairy boy. I don't know when the last time you've seen his ball sack, but it's hairy as fuck, mate.
Hairy genitals, you don't need them. I mean, everybody wants the smooth genitals.
No, and it's just an absolute. It's put it this way: Manscaped being launched in the UK. I used to listen to people speaking on podcasts in America, and they'd be going on about Manscaped, and I'd go, "I want to get that, man," but it's never because I mean, I've went years without using the right tools for the job. I'm telling you.
Well, listen, Grado, I need to agree with you. Sorry to butt in, but you know, sometimes you would listen to like a true crime podcast or something like that, you know, and you're thinking about, you know, this terrible thing that's happened to a person, and you need cheering up, and then there's nothing that cheers you up more than the thought of having perfectly smooth balls.
Yeah. Are you listening to JR and he'd talk away about how he shaves his balls, and you just got a mega image of JR just like pulling his skin out and going to town on it with a Manscaped.
And he wouldn't use foam, would he? He'd put barbecue sauce on his balls, wouldn't he? And he would shave using the barbecue sauce.
Absolutely. Well, if you're wanting your balls looking as trim and hygienic as JR's, then you could be one of the first men in the UK to experience the life-changing products from Manscaped. As I said, I have hurt my boys plenty of times with a bick. I have used scissors. I have absolutely scalded my boys with hair removal lotion, which you know, and I like to you know, get about every nook and cranny with the lotion, and it leaves you red raw. But that's why Manscaped, they've redesigned the electric trimmer. The Manscaped engineering team, they've been working day and night to perfect the greatest ball hair trimmer ever created. And the newly released, new improved Lawnmower 3.0 is in the UK. So you podcasters out there, you podcast listeners should say, you need to know about their third generation trimmer, because I'm telling you, it has cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents, and we don't need accidents when we're dealing with that sensitive area. I'm sure you've had similar experiences yourself over the years, Rab. Well, I don't know if you have, but I'm just...
There has been, you know, you don't want... your boss is the last place you get it hurt. You can get your boss hurt in a number of ways. Sometimes when I'm reading a book in bed, and I get to an exciting bit and I go, I'll leave it there for the night, and I slam the book shut and I accidentally trap my boys in the book. And these kind of things you expect to happen, but you don't want to be hurting your boys when you're trying to trim them to get them ready for display.
And I'll tell you what, this is premium, by the way, and I mean premium. The battery on this Manscaped Lawnmower 3.0 lasts up to 90 minutes. So you could basically start the Fitbit, man. Watch the Fitbit and sit there shaving your boys half time, tea time, or any time. because of that 90 minutes, you can have a longer shave. And the waterproof technology allows you to groom in the shower, which also helps as well. You don't want to be stunning at the sink and grooming your balls and hair's getting oily, gaff. That's because everybody knows what a pube is, right? You can't deny a pube. You know what I mean? You can't say, well, that's an Oxner hair. That's for my fringe. People in your household will know that you've been footering about your balls. One of the coolest features about it is the LED light. So it illuminates the grooming area to get a closer and more precise trimming. So that's going to put the light on your balls so that everything is well structured, everything's calm, everything's collected, and most of all, it's safe. And
does that mean you can date in the dark, Grado? Does that mean you can date in the dark?
You could date in the dark if you wish, because of that LED light, which is very, very handy. I've never tried it dating in the dark as of yet. I've always just I've been doing it in the shower, but it seems like it has become a kind of weekly thing for me to just have a wee once hour with a Manscaped
and
1 more point hour every week.
And it is safe to use in the shower?
It is absolutely safe, aye.
Because I've taken an electric bread knife into the shower a few times to try and shave my balls and got a bit of a shock. So hearing that's safe that's something.
Well, Rab, the deal is they've got 7,000 RPM motor on it with a quiet stroke. Did I tell you about that? They've got quiet stroke technology.
Well, we all like to have a quiet stroke.
Quiet strokes. And let's not forget about the charging stand. There's nothing better than charging up that Lawnmower 3.0. You can show your mower off loud and proud because this intelligently designed stand is a convenient charging dock powered by USB. You don't need to be trying to find one of the gimmicks that folk have in their houses or at their what, they be, that. Do they still even do them?
I mean, so I could have my boss shaver on my desk while I'm doing my work.
Aye.
Charging up.
Charging, sitting there with your phone and your vape and your ball trimmer. So if you're listening to me speaking right now, I want you to experience this firsthand for yourself. There's no point in us going on about it, putting it over. You need to feel that sensation that you get. Let's get that bush to tush clean. Get 20% off and free shipping by using the code DAFT at manscaped.com. That's DAFT at manscaped.com. Make your testes your besties. And as I say, it's 20% off. Free shipping with the code DAFT at manscaped.com. That's 20% off. Shipping at manscaped.com and use the code DAFT. Your boys are gonna thank you.
You just made the list!
Now, every week we run down a chart of something wrestling related on our list of Wrestling Daft. Now, you can vote for what you want us to talk about at patreon.com/Wrestling Daft. And it's so crucial that you do that. Get on there. There's so much good stuff on there. What are you doing with yourself? But let me tell you, this week, the vote, it was a landslide for what is the maddest rumours that you've believed about wrestling. That was up against like Fantasy Survivor Series things. But of course, this big landslide for this amazing subject. Now, I'm not going to do a top 3 this week. The reason why I'm not doing a top 3 is I've tricked you a wee bit here with this because I have never believed a shitey wrestling rumour. And you should know that if you're listening to the show, that I'm not a kind of daft guy that believes these wrestling rumours, but I've sucked yous in. Have you ever believed a daft wrestling rumour, Grado?
Have I ever believed a daft wrestling rumour? See, to be honest with you, I'm a bit like that as well, Rab. I see where you're coming for you. If it sounds too good to be true, there's a good feeling it's not true. That's the way I've always kind of. I mean, there is a couple of the. I mean, come on, let's not be honest with you. A lot of the times we're kind of fascinated by the kind of sexy ones, aren't we? Not the sexy ones, but it's sort of day with
Macho Man and
Stephanie and all that, man. And that's everybody's on it. And I'm taking it. There's going to be a lot of that tonight, John. Is there?
There's a few.
No. I mean, what I meant by that was like, remember you would go in teletext and or the bottom of your wrestling dirt sheet would say fucking Sting's backstage at Raw and all this shit.
Aye.
You know what I mean?
And Undertaker was always backstage at stuff. I always remember. Mm-hmm. Undertaker has been seen at the airport. And also, there's been an unbelievable amount of CM Punk was seen at CM Spunk, I'm talking about here, was seen at, you know what I mean? Constantly. Let's see what the punters have been believing, because they've been believing some fucking daft stuff. Here we go. Bronze Cello got in touch, as he always does. The rumour that Tony Atlas loves women walking on his face in trainers.
That's true.
No, he thought that was odd, but pictures have surfaced online. He done it at WrestleCon in Orlando, and he even does it in front of fans. It's a thing he does. That's weird, isn't it?
Tony Atlas has a severe ultimate loves feet. He's got a mega foot fetish.
Wow. Billy.
You never heard that?
What? No, really.
Oh, okay.
Billy for the run-in.
Do you know what it's continued to go viral? It's had 80,000 views. This is Billy, who was on a few weeks ago with a Family Guy chat about only finding out through 9/11 through Family Guy. He is now on fucking Twitch, and it's had over 80,000 views on
TikTok.
TikTok, that was it.
Aye.
TikTok, that's the thing.
Fucking granda. So that Twitch now. I see he's
I'm
stuck
like-
on Twitch.
Sound like an old man there.
But
Aye, TikTok, 80,000 views.
I don't follow. I think I follow about 3 folk on TikTok, and one of them's Billy.
Billy for the run-in said he remembers believing a rumour when he was a wee guy that John Cena and Batista were going to TNA.
Mate, if that wasn't Billy, I wouldn't laugh at that. But because it was Billy, I'm just imagine sitting there and going, oh, I remember John Cena and Batista were meant to go to TNA, and I believed it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Stephen says another one was that Shane McMahon and Brock Lesnar legit go into a shoot fight backstage after Brock Lesnar threw the Universal belt at Vince at the end of WrestleMania 34, and apparently Shane won.
See what you done to my favour?
Probably
You
want to
fucking
take a
doing
pinch of
that
salt.
again, see what you get.
You would be raging, wouldn't you, if somebody flung a belt at your dad, though?
And then holding them back, Shane, don't it? I'll be fucking trying to score my favour on the head with the belt. I'll be fucking right.
Don't date Shane, don't batter Brock Lesnar. Dan says a weird rumour that he heard known that was only recently confirmed was the Undertaker's hatred of cucumbers. Strange. Is that a true rumour?
That was on the Paul Bearer documentary, wasn't it?
I thought it was cats that didn't like cucumbers. Oh, I'm serious. Andy says that Randy Savage and Stephanie McMahon rumour, which we all know is... Anybody that's a wrestling fan has heard that rumour, and let's be honest, it's probably a lot of shite.
John, you'll probably see, do you hate these? It seems to be happening in every walk of life now, right? And if there's anybody out there, any wrestling fans that listen to this show, agree with me. I'm hating these fucking YouTube videos that turn up. The top 10 reasons why, and it's like an English guy, and it's not the same English guy, and it's not just English people, but it's that reason number 10, and we're in the morning, and number 9, we are it. You know what I'm talking about? They kind of videos. You
What
get them
culture do a lot of them? What culture?
Well, not just them, but it's even in the world. Like, remember the guy that used to drink bleach and drink vodka and eat like hundreds of peanuts and all that? The guy, what was his name? What was his name again?
Blue
Shoe
Meanie.
Nice. Do you remember Shoe Nice? Hey, Shoe Nice. Right, I hadn't watched him in years, right? There's a guy that used to pure eat hundreds of mad shit on YouTube like years ago before folk had any talent on YouTube. And I decided to give him a wee YouTube, and it was here's a real reason why Shoe Nice is a complete and utter wanker. Number 9, he apparently paid for gifts for his YouTube channel, but didn't pay the man. And it's just I don't know, it's just...
I hate that as well.
Do you know what I'm talking
But
about?
you know what? That makes
Underground.
money, that kind of stuff. That's what people want to watch.
Yeah.
Number 10. And number 10 reason why is so annoying, man.
It is, mate. There's loads of it. Because, I mean, I get fiddled in with it, man. Like, honestly, I watched a guy talk for about 20 minutes about the missing MH370 flight. And I'm going halfway through. I'm going, why am I listening to this cunt?
10 reasons why Grado enjoyed being a heel. 10, going back through the curtain to catch his breath. 9, having a bit of banter with the fans. 8, talking about Dixie Carter in front of the fans. 7, wearing a suit, putting a suit on and a pair of glasses.
Mate, that's Rob, you're doing a better impression of me. That's exactly what it's like. I bet there's punters out there that are like, I agree with that. But by the way, the watcher culture stuff's brilliant, man. Like, as in, they've trailblazed all that YouTube video stuff, man. They've totally nailed it.
So they've trailblazed all that stuff that you hate.
I'm just feeling Casey Slagman on a YouTube video.
Fucking let them slag you, man. Fucking what culture, man? Exactly. What culture? What fucking culture is there and what they create? This is art we create on this show. Big Mad Andy.
I do like him, but
Go in touch. He says, mind when I was in primary, it went about that John Cena was doing the Braheed Christmas light switch on.
that's a fucking belter. That's a fucking belter.
Louise, I wonder if this is Westy, says, I saw a rumour online that apparently the McMahons, I'm going to do an impersonation of Westy, right? I saw a rumour online that apparently the McMahons we see on TV aren't the real McMahons, but actors were hired to play them, and that we've never seen the actual McMahon family.
That's a no bad thing you'd believe, by the way. That's a kind of thing, man.
That's like getting into deep stuff there, though, isn't it? It's like deep conspiracy theory stuff. It's like Paul McCartney being fake Paul McCartney and actual Paul McCartney died, that kind of stuff. Christopher says, Ken Shamrock returned to WWE every single pay-per-view at one point during the late 90s, early 2000s. Yep, Shamrock popped up a lot. Ken Shamrock was seen backstage in Atlanta. Willie Jakes 2.0 says, Tommy Dreamer suggested an angle in ECW where he would get shot by a sniper and Terry Funk had to talk him out yet. I love that rumour.
Well, hold on a minute. He's done it in TNA.
What,
He did it last week. Dreamer's mega involved in a who shot Johnny Bravo. So that there could be truth in that, because that's the big angle in TNA, isn't it?
Right, so he's just reusing old ideas. Alan says the rumour that Vince and Shawn Michaels were pumping.
That's one you heard like well back in the day, wasn't it, man? That was a pure.
That's an old.
Do you ever remember there was a forum? Ian Andrew Drace Clay will back me up here, but there was a post on a website, an old wrestling forum, and it had wrestling's mentalist rumours. And see if you go on it, there's about 85 pages, and there's not one boring rumour. It's just crazy.
It's just all mad stuff. All mad stuff. Andy says he heard Daft Pals in school that Texas Tornado, Kerry Von Erich, he killed himself by accidentally doing a spin punch finisher too near a cliff and he fell off.
I heard that when I was at school as well, that he committed suicide by doing a Texas Tornado off a cliff.
Wow.
See, I remember when I was a wee guy, the rumours I remember hearing when I was a wee guy was that Texas Tornado had a wooden leg, was one of them. And it was true, right? It turned out that it was actually true that he had like a false foot or something, right?
Really?
Aye, this is fucking true.
Yes.
Now, that was one I thought was fake, but is actually true. Google Texas Tornado foot, and you will see that Kerry Von Erich, you go to Kerry Von Erich's Wikipedia page, and you go down, I'll read it out to you. After the amputation of his foot, doctors were unable to save his right foot, amputating it, and he continued wrestling with the prosthesis and kept the amputation secret to the majority of fans and wrestlers.
What the hell?
That's mad.
But the rumour was definitely about before, before he died. And the other rumour was also the rumours about like how that's not the real Ultimate Warrior when Ultimate Warrior came back.
I remember that one.
You could believe that back in the 90s, but because that was a thing, wasn't it? Like in 90s shows and all that, wasn't it?
And he looked different because he wasn't on as many steroids, right? So he'd shrunk.
Well, it was a bit like, you remember, like, what did you call him? Adam
Shame, when he came off of steroids. When Shamer came off of steroids, he looked at when he became Coach Tripp.
Is it Adam Rickman? Remember in Coronation Street, he get replaced? He was one of the, what was his name? David Platt Jr. or something like that.
That's right.
And you had, who else was there?
Lucy and Neighbours.
Lucy and Neighbours.
Went through about 3 Lucy and Neighbours, I think.
Pippa, did it have? It was always the same Pippa in Home and
Always
Away,
the same
wasn't it?
Pippa.
Always the same Pippa. Always the same Pippa. Always. Number 10 reasons why Pippa was replaced in Parallels Facts says the Rey Mysterio that made his debut in WWE was different to the one in WCW. That was a rumour, apparently. Wasn't true, of course. And Chris says, I remember a lad at school who was utterly convinced that Lex Luger was Barry Norman's son. Barry Norman for the BBC Film Review Show. You may still believe that. My favourite was Sid and his pet squirrel. Story was he took it everywhere with him. Who is he talking about? Sid Vicious here, like Psycho Sid?
Yeah. Psycho Sid, aye.
Sid Justice.
Yeah.
Story was that he took it everywhere with him and would put it down his pants to amuse the boys until one night it bit his dick and he missed a big show because he had to get hospital treatment for his squirrel biting his dick. And Darren says, the best wrestling rumour I've heard, mate, was hearing that Grado versus Abyss was a barn burner. That's magic, isn't it?
Thanks to TNA fucking tweeting that last week on this day in 2017. Makes the replies. Remember, Grado? I forgot how shite he was.
Do you feel like that's your worst match?
Well, there probably was worse matches than that. There's absolutely, but none fucking the biggest pay-per-view of the year, for fuck's sake.
God. It's that point in the show when we open the gull-wing door of the Wrestling Daft Lorien and try and avoid Libyan terrorists and head back in time to watch wrestling for days gone by. And last week, Grado told you to watch the WWE pay-per-view Retribution, which was filmed at the SECC in 2002. Now, I've watched some of it. I've not watched it all yet. I've watched some of it. But I have to say, Grado, this is like one of the weirdest shows I've ever seen.
That must blow your mind because
Who
you never know
promoted
this.
it? Who promoted it?
Andrew McManus. He's a guy from Australia. He promoted it. He basically, and JB, he stayed in Australia for a full year, working full time in an office. I think they were just going about promoting shows all around the world, but they were based in Australia. So before JB went for WCW, went for a full time job at WCW to full time job at WWE, then went to work for the Jarretts following year.
They must have lost a bit of money in this show, though, surely.
I think Ian Andrew, here we go again with the bold Andrew, but he linked me to something last week. I think he was, I don't know, I think he was bankrupt at one point or whatever, and he's back and all this. But if you type in Andrew McManus into Google, you'll get a wee bit of information on the big fella.
Nice. A very, very weird show. And that's reflected, I think, by what the punters have got to say about it. Axa Bomberman says, match of the night was Kazarian versus Shark Boy, the fucking opening match. Nobody could say Glasgow right the whole show.
I love it.
I saw my boy Jeff Jarrett and thought he was going to save a show, but then he said he was taking on Nathan Jones. There were some weird matches, weren't there, as well? Yuck, might have been a great show in person, but awful on TV.
Can I just see about remember the Glasgow thing, right? You know, that was like JR, Glasgow. It was funny because I remember the very first TNA show that they done at Braehead. It was as if they had so many folk in their ear saying, can you be the only American company to come to Glasgow and say it right? Because I've always remember JB going, TNA's here in Glasgow! And everybody went, way! Yeah, that's right, Glasgow. We're going to say the town right here tonight. It was weird. Somebody must have been in there to say it right. So TNA with the Trailblazers with that one.
They did it. Stephen says that moment when Lex Luger attempts to get the worst piece of cheap heat by saying Glasgow was in England. Beautiful.
Mate, I'm just getting memory things as well. Please say you've seen the table spot with Sabu and Simon Diamond, right? So
no, I didn't see it.
In America, if you want to use a gimmick table, mate, it's just a table in America. But you know the tables that you get at community centres out here are that fucking heavy duty metal. You know the silver metal.
Seriously,
in it, mate. Sabu must have panned his backside in trying to get Simon Diamond through one of their tables. It was either Simon Diamond, whoever's in the front. It was a freeway, and I'm going, mate. That's pure Hardy Mary Hill Community Centre tables, mate. You're not going through that.
Aye.
You're not going through that.
Their tables for a plate of caramel shortcake to be sitting on. No for fucking. Neil says I was at WWE Retribution. I didn't watch it again. I seen it once was probably enough. But Grado was spot on with just how random it was. He says, I do remember a pop for the crowd when Jarrett came out unannounced with the NWA title and Sting's promo being pretty special, but because of the nature of the card and just how much was thrown at us, so merged into one big wrestling themed blob, like something out of Film Society. And he says, but with Sabu and Simon Diamond rather than the guy for Baywatch, it was a good night out though, spoiled only by the price of the beers at SECC. Good, I always like that. Any review a Scottish guy does of any kind of show, wrestling show, fucking film, it's always like, and the fucking booze was dear, man.
Do you know what was weird about that show as well? Perry Saturn had been released for WWE maybe 2 weeks before it. And he turned up, he done a run in one of the matches, and it generally was a fucking, holy shit, man. Perry, do you know what I mean? I think it was his first his first outside appearance for the WWE. It was mental. And in actual fact, when we were all getting let out, you know, that way when you're coming out of the SEC, you're walking slow. And fucking Perry Saturn just staggers right by me, man. With his big, massive, sweaty body, and I got to slap his shoulder.
Was it wet?
Aye, man, he was ringing, so he was. And also, can I also just say as well that I remember my ma meant to turn right, but my Uncle Bernard came with her who doesn't drive, and he's one of these folk that thinks he knows everything, you know that way. Aye. And he talks like that. He was going, Maureen, turn right. No, Maureen, turn left. And I went, no, left is the Greenock way. Listen, I know, turn right. And she fucking turned left, man, and we had to go through fucking Clydebank, green up large. It takes about 2 hours to get home, man. Me and my mate Hammy, because my Uncle Bernard thought it was a left turn, but it was a fucking right turn. You're right onto the M8.
It's a nightmare driving out of that area, I think.
Oh, they
Carry on.
these are
I
like
also remember Kenny
Yeah.
McBride.
Mm-hmm.
Remember Kenny McBride? I also remember seeing him, and he was at a phone box, and now that way I was like, "How you doing?" And he was like, had the phone in his ear, and I always remember walking up to him, and he kind of like put his hands out and say, "I'm on the phone," and he hung up and he went, "Non-smiley."
Beautiful. Norman Smiley. There's a blast for the pass. Chris says, go to hand it to Lex Luger in this match. How he managed to hold in his gut for that whole match was incredible. Commentators asked what he'd been doing for the past 18 months. Pfft, working in Greg's and fleecing his staff discount is my guess. Poor old Lex Luger's always getting it heavy. I'm up next. This is an easy one for me. Picking what we're going to watch for our retro review. Going to watch what I think is maybe the greatest pay-per-view of all time. Last year I watched enough shite. We're watching the greatest pay-per-view of all time. It is Survivor Series season, so let's go back and watch Survivor Series 98. Let's watch Deadly Game, start to finish, and let's have a big old conversation about it next week, because I think that is the best booked wrestling show that there's maybe ever been.
Really, man? Was that Dude Love and Stone Cold? No, is that? No, that's not that. I don't know.
It's the tournament. Deadly Game is a tournament. No spoilers in case anybody doesn't know what happens in it. I'm sure everybody does know what happens in it. But my God, what a fantastic story that tells. And just a beautiful story running through the night. I absolutely love this pay-per-view. Right up my street. So you go watch your homework for next week. Go and watch Survivor Series 98. Watch Deadly Game. Oh, it's a deadly game. Check back your thoughts and opinions next week. So let's pick a listener of the week. Who's it going to be? Who is it going to be? Who said Bingo Bondage? Because that's Bingo Bondage is good. You know,
it was Jamie.
However, I think Jordy did do well with his Pokey Bum Bum Bigelow in the squirt business.
It's
and
bad no getting him again, but we can't give him it every week. You know what I mean? I don't want him to, like, if he's listening, I don't want him to go, ah, man, fuck.
Grado, I'm going to let you decide this, because for me, I think ultimately it's going to come down to Jamie, who has Bingo Bondage, Depenetration X, and Nation of Ejaculation, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that would be my choice, but I'm happy for you to pick somebody else if you prefer a Hacksaw Jim Chuggin or a Giza Gobbledygooker, which is a good one.
See, to be honest with you, am I being too kind of... I must admit, I liked everybody's puns this week to the point where I was pissing myself at everyone, and there's never been as... There was you know what I mean? There's no complete obvious ones that you would...
I mean, this was a high level of competition here. High level of competition.
I mean, Big Papa Pump and Squirt was alright, but then he fucking blew my mind with Jodie Fleshlight. Do you know what I mean?
That's a good one, innit? It's a good one and all.
What
do you think, man?
John, you pick.
Gonorrhea Ripley's good as well, innit? Gonorrhea Ripley is good.
Fucking superb. John, what tickled you the most this week?
I liked Hacksaw Jim Duggan, but I don't know why.
A lot of folk liked that on Twitter as well.
That was good. I think give it to Jamie because, you know, he's obviously listened to the show. He knows the chat. He knows the Bingo Balance
exactly.
chat.
Dana Bingo Balance one is brilliant. Bingo Bondage.
We like that.
We like that. That's the kind of thing we like. So Jamie, you're the champ. You're the listener of the week. Give him the belt. Get your 40 in so we can get that belt around your waist. Get the strap on you. That's it for this week's show. Please rate, review, and subscribe on Apple or get us in whenever you get your podcasts. We go twice a week now, so remember, so you catch us on a Friday and the Marks podcast on a Tuesday. The Marks podcast, I would say, is you're going to get a lot more wrestling information in that one. There's going to be much less Grado arsing about just ruining the show. You're going to get your wrestling. That's for your wrestling fans podcast. Also, remember to get on our Patreon, patreon.com/wrestling daft to check out the video version of this. And there's so much extra stuff on there as well. And you can have the wee pay-per-view parties and all that kind of stuff. Get yourself on there, fling your boys a bit of money, and why not buy yourself a t-shirt on shop.spreadshirt.co.uk/wrestling daft. I hope you keep yourself safe for the pandemic. You're out there. Keep the faith, keep hanging in there. The vaccine is just around the corner. Grado, it's been a pleasure.
I've liked this week. As I say, sorry, I know.
Have we cheered you up, mate? Have we cheered you up? You feeling better?
I feel a wee bit better, man.
You need a kip, mate. Again, this boy, listen, this boy works his cell to the bone, man. This boy works his cell to the bone. Right, up the road, Grado, it's yourself.
It's
John,
yourself.
a pleasure.
Up the
See you
road.
next week, folks.
See you later.
Audio Frontier.